Well, good evening, everybody. Welcome back to the channel. Welcome back to our continued playthrough. This is Series 2, Episode 3 of Dungeon Degenerates using the Mean Streets expansion. And we're playing the scenario from the Mean Streets expansion, the smell, with the terrible smell of disease, where we are battling the plague and all that goes along with it. Just to do some things, I went back and reviewed, just to make sure I had everything right. There was one thing that I was a little confused about. Not really confused, just something that I was double checking. So when I drew the encounter card there was a law card, that really wasn't a lowlands encounter. So we haven't had a lowlands encounter yet, really. Maybe the first one. No, it wasn't. It was a law card. So I'm not sure if I should be moving our guy that needs to move when he's in the lowlands. I think it's the Plague Knight or the Famine Knight. One of the two. I'll take a look. They're supposed to move when something happens, but I don't think they should have, based on what I saw. So we're going to continue on. We're going to just continue on as if that is the case. And we're going to take our three guys. I think they're going to stick together again. We're going to go right in to the next turn and get them on the road. They're going to head to the crossroads where they can explore and find some cool stuff. Maybe encounter another one of the things that we need to encounter, which would be right here, and see if we can do that. Remember, they're trying to get to understand the creation of the plague and how to stop it, how to help prevent it. And we're out busting skulls for the plague finders. Or plague whatever guys are. You know, those guys. Yeah, the plague, I always forget their name. But, yeah, those guys. The plague finders. Yeah, those plague finders. I was right the first time. Alright, so let's get on with that and start our next turn. We have Dr. Oz. She is a unlicensed surgeon. And she is going to be heading down to the crossroads, dragging along Alley Cat Sue, who is going to head down as well. She's interesting. And then we also have Carl. You know, he's a big knight. He likes to go down onto the crossroads too and beat some heads, maybe get into some fights. That would be good. Okay, that's what they're going to do. Just to get a little character. You know, I love role-playing, guys, and I don't get much of a chance to do that with these games. But anyway, let's move forward and see what we can do. Alright, so we're going to start off with a bold stance so we can get our hustle on. Now remember, when we make a bold stance, everybody's fine. Nobody has a problem, except for Alley Cat Sue. She is demoralized because of something that happened to her in town. But we're gonna mosey on and start our move. We're going as a group, so all three of them are going to head down. We're going to do a forced march out of Brutalberg across the road to the crossroads. Now remember, when Carl gets there, I don't see anything. What's happening over here? But we do have to get there. So we did that. Now we have to make some Constitution rolls because we did a forced march. So let's go do that. And if you recall, I'm sure you watched the last one. When we do a forced march, it's one of our movement actions. We have to be in a bold stance in our travel, and then we have to make a contest to not become fatigued. This is going to be a little more problematic than when we were up in Brutalberg because it was easy to just quickly rest and get that taken care of, but we're on the road now, so resting's not such a good thing sometimes. Okay, but we're going to start with our surgeon. She's going to make a con roll and see if she can do well. You know, Dr. Oz. Let's see what she gets. She did a 7 exactly. That's perfect. She did not become fatigued. And then we have Alley Cat Sue. I might change her to some like little British child or something. Hello. We're going down to the crossroads right now. Let's see. She failed miserably. Okay, so she's getting all the tokens. So basically, what does that mean? I need to find the right token for her. Let's see. Not demoralized. I'm looking for... there's lots and lots of tokens, guys. So let me find a fatigued one, and I'll be right back. There you have it. Fatigued, no forced march. That is going to go on here with her recovery states. She's got demoralized and fatigue, so she's probably going to need to chill just a little bit. And then Carl has to make the same roll. So we're going to make the same roll for good old Carl, except he has a constitution of 8, so he's got a little better chance of doing it, but not when he rolls like that. So he too is fatigued. That means that we have 2 people that are going to have to rest before they can do another forced march. And I do like I do like those kind of statuses. It's pretty neat that we are in a position where... we have to then rest because we fatigued ourselves out. There's his token is going on his recovery state. But we didn't make it down to the crossroads. That's really all we're going to do this turn, except for then go into our encounter phase. You all know it's not called that. It's called the danger phase. Don't want to make a mistake on that there. All right. Anyway, we did shuffle this up, but I'm going to give it another shuffle again. Remember, we had to shuffle it up from the last time. So we're going to place those out and see what we get. Now, are we going to have a terrible encounter, or are we going to have a good encounter? Ooh, okay. Now, I'm going to remember something else that I have to do, because this is going to be important. All right. It says, dangerous degenerates driven to desperate deeds swear blood oaths to their brigand brothers in the smoke-filled tents of the bandit camp. Okay. So that is going to happen. We are going to increase the danger level in the bandit camp. That is way up top on the north side of the map. So the bandit camp is going to become a 5. It's becoming quite dangerous up there. So let's go back to our party, because we're going to have our first little scrappy-doo here, see what happens. Something else that happens that comes directly from the scenario. You can see the guy here, the plague, famine night. When the first party, there's only one party right now, draws a yellow danger card, move the Famine Knight 2 spaces closer to Pigskin Port. Well, he will not take rivers, but he will take roads. So we're going to move him 1, and then, where would he go? I guess Pigskin Port is up north. I think it's faster. Is it faster to go around this way? Or go up? Yeah, I think it will be. So we'll move him to right there. He's moved 2 up. He's getting away from us. We can't be having that. That's terrible. So he's on the road. He's taking the road. I don't think he does anything when he's walking about, but we're just going to check it out. Just matters until it just doesn't do anything until he gets to Pigskin Port. Yeah. All right, and then because that's the Famine Knight, the Plague Knight, I think, is the one that spreads additional plague around. I'm not sure. I don't recall. I have to look it up. But we are in the crossroads, which is governed by the fields. So I do believe we're going to have an encounter there. Let's just see if it's equal to or less. Each party draws and resolves a danger card. This will determine if there's an encounter. Well, I believe there is, but let's just check the rules real quick. Because I want to see if it's equal or less. Because right now the danger area we're in is a 2. It's the fields. And so I just want to make sure that when we do that, that is the case. Be right back. Yes, it does say equal to or less. So what are we going to do? We're going to have an encounter. So we're going to draw that first. Remember, we're going to have a blue encounter. We're encountering in the lowlands here. And then we will, since we have 3 characters, we're going to fight 3 normal monsters. So that's not terrible. So let's get the encounter deck out and see what that happens first. Now, sometimes these encounters won't happen unless it says happens immediately. So I'm going to shuffle these up real quick. And then we're also going to have our first brutal battle in Brutalberg. And Carl will kill them all. That's what his point is. That's what he wants to do. Let's see what we get. Trapped stagecoach, encounter a human. Well, that's if, let's see, what's the symbol in the area we're in? Yeah, that's it. It's going to be this one here. Just for the sake of discussion, I don't remember all the symbols all the time, so I'm going to tell you what that one is so that you know. Like I said, the good thing is there's these handy-dandy reference charts, and that it means outside. It simply means outside. So that is an outside encounter. Okay, so in the crossroads, we have an outside encounter with a trapped stagecoach. It does not say start immediately, so we're going to put that aside for a moment, because when we found the trapped stagecoach, it was surrounded by monsters. So we're going to have to get the lowland monster deck out. We're going to have our first battle. I'm going to shuffle this up real quick. I have shuffled these, but I always like to do it the first time I draw, just to make sure that we do well here. And now, the interesting, we'll go over a monster card when I first pull one. And again, if you've gone back and watched my previous series on this, you'll understand how this works already. But again, I'm just going to do a little more shuffling. Okay, that sounds good. Do a cut. We're going to draw our first monster. It is a gifted cultist. Okay, so let's talk about these things. Obviously, these things actually do matter in this game. Some games they don't matter as much. Human cult heretic witch. So that's what we know we got. It's got a value of 1 experience and 1 gold. If we defeat it, it's going to go attack the person with the greatest strength. That's going to be Carl. And then it's going to be an attack of 4. It has the ability of Necro. We'll look that up in a minute. It's got 0 armor and 5 health. Now he's going to wander off, and I'm just going to put him on the corner of our Dishonored Knight's card, because that's who he is going to attack. Now we're going to draw 2 more because we have 3 players. We're going to have 3 monsters. Let's see, a Vermin Corpse. Okay, well this one is going to be interesting because I think they're both going to attack our guy Carl. Again, 1/1 value, attack value 4. That's just their rating. It's basically how tough they are. Con. Now we don't roll dice. They don't roll dice to hit us. We just roll dice for everything. And it says annoy and drain. Well, annoy sucks. Means that we have to that we have to take. I think it's a bold stance. I'll look up all these. We'll go through all of them. However, he's going after the person with the largest con. He does have an armor point. Good thing we have our poleaxe. So he too is going to go fight Carl. That's good. Carl's jumping in the way. And Dr. Oz goes, "Darling, please jump in the way and fight these things. I can't stand to be attacked. I'm not very good at fighting. I just have my little saw." Okay, and then we have Pumpkinhead, another cultist, human cult heretic. Now this one is not going to. This one's actually. Oh, you let them get by, Carl. Why'd you let them get by to fight me? I hope that's not annoying you guys. I'm just having fun with it. Anyway, it's going to attack the person with the highest morale, which happens to be our surgeon, Dr. Oz. It's got Horde Heretic. Now, do I have any other heretics? I do. I have the Gifted Cultist. So that's going to play a factor here. I'm going to put that up with Dr. Oz there. And that's going to be the monsters. So let's just go over quickly their abilities. So, okay, we're going to get out the Hundelbloom. Here we go. Abilities on the back. Standard abilities. Okay, so we know we have Necro. So let's take a look at Necro. What does Necro do? It says each time you receive one or more wounds from the monster, you lose 1 experience. Ow, God, we gotta kill that dude. If a number N is indicated, you lose N experience instead. Well, there is no number N, it's just Necro. So that's annoying. Okay, but then we got the Verm Corpse, which has Annoy and Drain. So Annoy says if you are being targeted by this monster, you must use guard stance. So we can't use our assault stance. That sucks because that's the only way we get to use the special power of our polearm. So there you go, caution and guard right there. All right, but we're gonna be okay. We're gonna be okay. We got stuff we can do. All right, and then he also has the Drain ability. The Verm Corpse says drain at the end of each combat round. This monster recovers 1 wound if it inflicted at least 1 wound on its target during the round. So basically, now it doesn't have the end stat, so it's just going to drain. And then we have the Pumpkinhead, which has Horde Heretic. Now this means he's going to get a bonus, I believe, because there is another heretic on the board. Horde right here. This monster has +1 attack while there are 1 or more monsters with the indicated class in its space. Well, there is, because there's one fighting our knight, right? So anyway, here we go. So the person that goes first, it goes by morale. So the first person to go is going to be a surgeon because she goes, I have a morale of 8, so I'm going to attack this Pumpkinhead right now. We'll get it killed, I hope. Now, what does she want to do? Let's see. So we have a choice. We can take an assault stance. Now, right now in the combat, let me just go over that. We haven't done that before. So we're going to talk about fighting real quick. Okay, here we go. Combat round. Established targets. We've done that. Arrival abilities. There weren't any arrival abilities on these cards. Now, if there were, there'd be a black labeled ability above this one, but there's not. So we're okay there. Okay. Then, adventurers take turn perception order. So who is that? That's actually going to be... Okay, it's going to be Alley Cat Sue, then our surgeon, then Dr. Oz, then Carl. So, okay, then we pick our combats. Choose a combat stance before we do anything. So I think that Alley Cat Sue doesn't have anybody to fight. So you know what's cool about that is she gets to attack wantonly against an enemy. And since Carl's really tough, Alley Cat Sue is going to attack the Pumpkinhead. That's what she's going to do, because she doesn't have to suffer any consequences of that attack. So she's going to go on the assault. Now, what is she going to do? She's going to use her claws. She doesn't have any actual weapons, but she does have her claws right here. It says attack agility, so her agility is an 8. That's pretty good. And that says attack. Now, if she's going with an assault stance, the attack with the mastery ignores 1 armor. Now, the Pumpkinhead doesn't have any armor, but that's okay. Now, I just got to double check on her lycanthrope skill. It says quick action. Oh, so I've taken action on that. We're not going to do that. She doesn't feel the need to do anything special here, but she is going to assault. Now, how does that work? Normally, you would roll your 2 attack dice, your 2 defense dice, which is based on your agility, and your 1 power die. And now, if you were going to, if you're assaulting, the power die applies to your attack. If you're defending, it applies to your defense. Now, we don't have to defend because she doesn't actually have anybody to defend against. So we're going to take those out. We don't even need them. We're just going to roll these 3. Now, what we want to do is on the 2 attack dice, and I'm not going to keep explaining this in this level of detail, but I'm assuming some people haven't watched this before. On the 2 attack dice, we have to roll under our attack skill. Now, with the claws, it's going to be agility. So it's going to be under an 8. And then the highest die is going to be damage. Now, because we're doing assault, we can replace the highest die with the power die. So if the power die is higher, we can do that damage instead. Let's hope for a good thing here. So, oh, that's not bad. Okay, so the power die sucked, but this is a 6. So we successfully hit the pumpkin head, and because we got a 5 there, we did 5 points of damage. Well, guess what? That is enough to kill the pumpkin head. The surgeon goes, Oz goes, oh, thank you, Kitty Cat. You killed the pumpkin head for me. I appreciate it. And then Alley Cat Sue goes, yeah, absolutely. I got to figure out the voice for Alley Cat Sue. But anyway, the pumpkin head is killed. Now, what we're going to do right now is we're going to take that as a trophy for Alley Cat Sue. But flip it over and put it next to her card. And that is her attack. That was fantastic, actually. We got to avoid the ability, the horde ability that this creature has. That is very, very good for us. Okay, now, we do also want to avoid the other abilities. Now, the other good news is the person with the next highest agility, right? It's agility? Yeah, perception, rather, is going to be Dr. Oz. So Dr. Oz now doesn't have anybody that she has to worry about fighting, right? So she's going to attack, she's going to use her quick action to attack with aggressive stance. So she's going to take an assault stance too and attack the Verm Corpse. Now the reason she's attacking the Verm Corpse is because the Verm Corpse actually has armor. And since if we kill it, then we get rid of the Annoy ability, and then our good guy Carl can take that same position to attack with. It can take an assault stance, because right now the Verm Corpse has the Annoy ability, which forces Carl to be in a defensive position. Okay, so we're going to do this. Attack using agility. Okay, so Dr. Oz's agility is an 8, and it's a melee attack. So that's pretty good. We're just going to put that right there for now. And now again, because she no longer has anybody that she has to defend against, she doesn't have to roll defense dice. Carl's going to be the first one we're going to have to roll defense dice with. Okay, so it's same. Now, since this is agility, we need an 8 or less. That's a 7 and a 2. Well, not as good. We did 4 points, but that is not enough to kill the Verm Corpse. Now remember, attack with this item ignores 1 point of armor against filth. Oh, wait. It's not filth. It's just undead vermin. So we're not going to ignore that point of armor. So we're going to actually do 3 points of damage to the Verm Corpse. And what that means is it has 2 points left. So what we do, unlike other games where you put the amount of damage you've done to it, you put the points of the amount left to kill it. So right now we have 2 more points left to kill it. Thank you, Dr. Oz. Carl goes, oh, thank you. That's very helpful. All right. Then we're going to put this back. She attacked with her surgeon saw, put a big gash in the Verm Corpse. But now we have to go to Carl. Now Carl has to take a guard stance because of the annoyability of the Verm Corpse. So now we have a real thing. Now when you're in guard stance, there's some cool things that go on there, right? So on the defense roll, if we're actually on guard and we pass, it says reduce the damage from each monster targeting you by the highest single die. That's if we pass, right? And we can also, again, use the power die for that, which is good. Now, if we're in assault stance, we're only going to reduce the damage from each monster targeting you by the highest single defense die. It's the same, or power dice. So we get to do that separately. But again, we still have to succeed, and we have an agility. It's an agility attack. So it's 7, guess what? -1. Remember, we got +2 armor, so we're doing okay there. We still want to try and roll a 6 or lower. So now, for the first time, we're going to roll all of our dice. We are in guard stance. We're fighting the gifted cultist and the Verm Corpse. Let's see what we do. Oh, actually, that is a really good roll for us. Not a bad roll for us. Because, here's what we do. We succeeded. We rolled a 5. We needed a 6, remember, because his agility is 7. His armor gives us -1. We stop 5 because we can replace it as well. We stop 5 points of damage from each of them. Well, the damage done for each of them is a 4. So we stopped the damage from each of those baddies right there. We took no damage in that attack. We did, however, do some damage because we still hit. We hit with an 8 using the poleaxe. Now remember, the poleaxe is a strength weapon. His strength is 9, so we need a 9 or less to hit. It says you may roll an additional power die when you attack with this item if we were in assault stance, but we're not, remember? And it has the reach ability. I have to look that up. I don't remember what reach does. It may not do anything in this case, but I just want to double check and see. what the reach ability does. It's going to be on one of these cards. I think it's going to be here. Let's see. No, those are statuses. Statuses. So I'm looking for melee abilities. Yeah, I'm going to have to look it up in the book, I believe. I just want to double check. Be right back. That's what I thought. Reach doesn't have any specific ability tied to it unless there's something that says that. However, he did wallop on this thing with 4 points of damage. So obviously I should have targeted I would have targeted the Verm Corpse because I know I could kill that easier. So Carl killed the Verm Corpse and took no damage that turn. He's quite happy with himself. All right, and that becomes his trophy. Carl's Dr. Oz, I killed the Verm Corpse for you. And Doctor goes, thank you, darling, thank you. It's quite nice. All right, so now we're back around. We're going to go back to another combat round. Everybody's in a pretty good place. Yeah, pretty good place. Now, I got to remember that Sue has a -1 morale because it doesn't really change anything because at this point in time, but I just need to keep that in mind. Okay, now let's go back around. Well, we only have one thing to fight, and Dr. Oz is going first, right? So Dr. Oz is going to go into an assault stance and hit the gifted. Now, I just want to look at Necro again, just to make sure I don't miss it. Each time you receive 1 or more wounds. Well, he hasn't received any wounds yet from the monster. So, yeah, the gifted didn't do any damage to us. So, as we succeeded in our defense against it. So we're going to again take 3 dice, the 2 assault dice and the power die, because we're going to go in assault mode with the doctor. We're using again his surgery saw, or her surgery saw rather, and we're going to attack with agility, which is 8. So let's see what we can do. Well, we got a 2. That's not good. We did hit, but that would have only been 1 point of damage. Luckily, we have our power die, so we're going to get to make that 3, which means that guess what? It now has only 2 hits left because it also has 5 health. And that was her attack on the beastie. Now we're going to perception of 8 for Sue. She's going to get to attack next. She as well is going to take an assault stance with her claws. They're an attack, melee attack with agility. She also reduces 1 armor point, but that doesn't really matter here. So here we go with our assault attack with Sue. Attack rather. So it's 5, 6, 7. Does that happen? Let me see. Melee strength. Oh, agility rather. Sorry. Well, that's an 8. Okay, so yes, we did succeed. Now we don't want to worry about the power die because we got 5. That's going to be enough to kill it. However, that's interesting because that means Sue killed the Psycho one. She's going to get all the experience. So we killed those 2. Okay, and that is the end of our very first round of combat. That was pretty simple. We waylaid those guys. It was really good. We had some good rolls, not too bad, but we got some more to do here. First things first, we're going to take a look at these. Now, you see up here in the corner, they have a 1 and a 1 value. So right now, she's going to get 2 experience points. So she's going to go up there, and then 2 gold. So we're just stacking them up right there. Now, she also gets to roll a die. If she rolls less than the combined experience value on a d6, she gets a loot item. We're going to take a purple die, and we're just going to roll it right in front of her there and see if we get a 2. Oh, we got a 1! That is fantastic. So guess what? We're going to cash these in. She does lose those, but we do get to draw a loot card for her. Alright, let's just give the loot deck a quick cut, and we're going to draw a loot card for Alley Cat Sue. What do we get? A hunting net. That sounds really appropriate. It is worth 6 gold. It's just a one-handed item. It says combat action. Make an agility test. If you pass, target monsters with XP value of 1 become dazed and loses the following abilities: annoy, evade, pursue, and skirmish. That's fantastic. This action may be attempted only once per fight and cannot be used against oozes or ghostly monsters. That's okay, but we did find a hunting net. That's pretty good. Now we go on to Carl. Now Carl has 1, so this isn't going to be very good for him. Oops, got to be careful of the tokens. The one thing I don't like, I wish that, I don't know, these are not, they sometimes move around. You got to be careful with that. Okay, the vermin is 1/1, so we're going to get 1 more gold, putting him back up to where he belongs, and we're going to go up to 5 experience right there, and then we're going to get to roll 1 die. It's got to roll a 1. See if we get an item. We did not, so he did not get a loot card, but he did get the experience and the gold from that creature. So that is the end of our fight. And that marks the end of our encounter card. Again, if you noticed if I made any errors, please let me know, but I don't believe that I did. I think it all came out in the wash okay. I'm just going to discard these to the side, and then that's going to be the end of our turn. So we're going to come back around. Now, of course, there's more to do. Oh, wait, there is more to do because we now get to do our trapped coach encounter. So let's take a look at that. Hope you can read it. It's a rather small print. Your enemies were stalking a small group of travelers. whose stagecoach is trapped in the mud. The party may help the travelers, shift the wheels out of the mud, ignore them, or slaughter them and plunder their coach. Wow. So there's nothing particularly evil about, even though our knight is dishonored and these guys are criminals, they're not evil. In fact, it distinctly says that the unlicensed surgeon is both good and bad. So I don't think that they would plunder and slaughter the people in the stagecoach. And, you know, it's plague-ridden land. We don't want to kill people that are healthy, right? So let's take a look at help. I think we're going to help. I didn't read it. I just wanted to see what happens. Let's get the glare off it so you can read it. Each adventurer in the party becomes detained and may attempt a strength test. If at least one adventurer succeeds, reduce the bounty level. Okay, well, that's not that great, but we'll do it. Okay, we'll do it. Okay, so everybody gets a detained token. Okay, so the detained tokens are on the back of the fatigue tokens. I actually need more of those, but it's okay. So everybody's detained. I'm just going to put this on Carl's sheet so I remember it. That means that no one can move, right, until we have gotten rid of that condition. So I'm going to look at the detained condition as well on this sheet. Now, this is on the cheat sheet because that's how cool. Well, is it? Yes, it is. Okay, right here, fatigue detained. Okay, if you become detained while you are fatigued, flip the counter to detained. Well, we're detained anyway, side. If you become fatigued while you're detained, okay, blah, blah, blah. When you are fatigued, you cannot force march. Well, we can't move until we recover that. So that's what that means. It's just simply we got stuck there, right? So we won't be able to move again. Good thing is we don't want to really, but we're probably going to have to we're going to take a rest action to explore anyway. Okay, let's continue on and roll strength checks. So our surgeon, she goes, oh, I'm not very strong, but I'll help out where I can, Carl. I'll see if I can do it. I'll lift as hard as I can and push this cart. Perhaps we should just kill them and take their loot. I'm not sure. No, I failed miserably. In fact, I strained my arm. It hurts very bad. Okay, so Sue, she goes, I'm not strong either. I think I'll try and lift this up. She's only got a 5 strength. She failed miserably too with an 11. Okay, man, we better get this done. Otherwise, the bounty level will stay at 3. But that's okay. Let's see. Okay, so, yeah, and then, of course, Carl, he goes, get out of the way, you two. I can do this. I have a strength, a very strong man. I have a 9. Wow, 9. Just made it. Okay, so we're going to reduce the bounty level by 1. That's not too bad for us. So our bounty level, which actually I think it's a different token, but anyway, it doesn't really matter. Might be yellow. No, it's orange. We're going to reduce that to 2. Why? Because we saved the people in the wagon. They're going to go back and say, look at the nice people. They helped us out. They saved us. Man, we're grateful to their aid. Our bounty level is dropped to 2. Okay, so that is a good thing. That's a good thing. And that is the end of our encounter. So that's going to mark the end of that. Put the counter over there. We have we had a blue encounter, but that was a yellow. We already moved. Just want to make sure we did everything. We already moved the famine night, plague night. Okay, we're good. Now remember, we do have we're fatigued. We can't force march. We got some detained. So as we come around to the next round in our map action, we are going to take a rest action. Now, let's see. Rest, make camp, or stay in town. We're going to make camp. We can do that any place. And I believe, yeah, there's no problem with doing it at the crossroads, even though we're outside and have a lodge space there. It's not that big a deal. We can do all of these things, but of course, the first thing we have to do is make a morale test. Now, nobody's wounded, but we will get rid of those conditions. We're going to get rid of them anyway, and the morale test is only important because if we roll double 6s on the doctor, we're going to get plague. So let's do that. Dr. Oz goes, I'm not feeling so good. I think I'm going to take a nap right here, right now. And we did not roll double 6s. In fact, we rolled very low. So while we don't take anything, she is no longer detained. That gets removed. Okay, again, we're going to go to Alley Katsu. No damage. Remember, her morale is -1, so she's got a 5. She might fail. She didn't actually fail. Anyway, even if she did, her statuses are removed. Yay. And then, of course, we got Carl. Carl's a big dude. He says, okay, my morale is 9. I think I'll be fine. Yeah, whoa, barely. 6, 7, 8, 9. He's doing that. He's getting right on the edge there. So his fatigue and detained tokens are removed. And it's that simple. That is the entire part of that turn for the recover piece. Now we get to do some things. Now I said we took a bold stance, so because we want to explore. That's the important part here, is exploring this area. Now to explore, we're going to have to make a perception test, so we know that we're going to be using Alley Cat Sue to do that. She creeps into the area, explores the crossroads, looking for something to happen here. So we're going to have to make a test, but let's just double check something first. By the way, I don't have to actually roll these tests when I do the recovery test, except for in the case of the doctor, because there's some negative possible consequences. But anyway, we're going with Alley Cat Sue. She is going to make a perception test to explore the ruins, or the crossroads. Let me get out find an explore token. There's one right there. We're going to get one of those out. If I can get it in my hands. There we go. And we're going to roll. We need to, remember, need to roll an 8 or lower. Man, she's rolling like a star, so we do get to do that. We explored the crossroads successfully. Now, because we explored the crossroads, no matter what we do from there, with that exploration token there, when we move, it's always, we can do the same thing as if we have a forced march, because we've explored the area. We know it very well now, so we can get around better. However, we got this. Clue 5. What is Clue 5? Let's take a look at our story on this one, because we have uncovered Clue 5. Clue 5 says, Death Pit. We're getting all the bad ones, guys. I think we need to get the lower ones. The terrified locals have been carelessly dumping their dead into a nearby ditch. Oh, darlings, don't you not just careless. You need to put salt in there, or whatever you need to do to make sure that the disease doesn't spread, and then you burn the bodies. Because I'll burn them now. Let's do it. Okay, so you must fight monsters this turn, regardless of the value of your danger card, and undead in the fight. Okay, and undead in the fight have a vector. If you win the fight, you remove Clue 5. Okay, so we're going to fight something this turn. And 1 plague from your space. That doesn't count me, though, I don't think, for the doctor. Otherwise, place a plague counter in your space, then search the Doom deck and discards for Necro Poison card and resolve it. Well, we're not going to do that. We've got to make sure we defeat these critters, right? So, yeah, so it says if you win the fight. Well, we're going to win this fight. Heck yeah. So, okay, so we're just going to hold that. We know that we have to deal with this encounter, and we're going to have a battle. So let's get out our encounter deck, because we have done what we can do there. We really can't do anything else. We're in good shape. Let's get this danger card going. So Tower Island. Okay, it says hulking inhuman shapes are spotted shambling across the shore of Tower Island. Well, Tower Island is in the swampy region down below. Let's find Tower Island. I'm looking. There it is. Okay. Man, do we have some danger going up. Wait, I also think the danger level, if we defeat a battle, don't we get... I gotta look at the rewards for defeating creatures, because I believe if we win, we get to reduce the danger level in the area. So, because we killed some bad monsters. That would make some sense, right? Danger level, right? I'm going to just look that up and see if that would be true. Let me look it up. Hold on. Well, I can't find that, but I'm going to look for it later, and if it is, then I will reduce the danger level of the area that we're in. But regardless of that, we're going to encounter, it doesn't matter, we're going to have a law monster encounter of 2. It says that right there, and it says, hold on, if we're not in the law space, oh, we are actually. The crossroads has a law marker on it, so we're going to fight the law. And because we have 3 characters, we're going to have 3 monsters. So we're going to put that aside for right now. There's no encounter associated with it. And I'm just going to reread our Death Pit. You must fight monsters this turn regardless of the value of your danger card. And undead in the fight have vector if you win the fight. Okay, so it says monsters, but the law is monsters too in this case. So I think we're going to have to draw some law monsters. Based on that, that's what it says. We're going to have to fight 3 creatures of the law. Now, because, it said bounty level 2, so we are at a bounty level 2 anyway. So we would have fought this no matter what. Which is okay, because we get experience and stuff. I got my hunting net. We're in a good place. No particularly bad statuses. There's no plague here. I hope it stays that way. Okay, we're just going to do one quick cut, see what we get. We get an Imperial Huntsman. Okay, he's a 2/2. He's pretty tough, actually. Perception, he's going to go out to the person with the highest perception. That is going to be Alley Cat Sue. He's got Pierce 1 and Pursue. We'll take a look what that is. He's got 1 armor and 6 health. He's pretty nasty. He is a human law noble. He's going to go with Alley Cat Sue. Next up, we have a Watchman, just simple Watchman. He's got Summon. We got to take him down. He's going to the person with the most gold. That is actually, interestingly enough, Carl. So that's good. Now, he's got an attack of 4. Summon is his ability. If he's in a safe space, he's not. So I don't think he's going to summon. He's not in a area with a flag. So he's just out in the middle of the wilderness, so he doesn't get to summon buddies to help him. He's got 0 armor and a 5 strength. And then last but not least, we have a Frothing Zealot. A human law Puritan. He's got Berserk and Onslaught. None of them have any entry abilities into the fight. He's going after the one with the most strength, so again, that's going to be Carl. He's got 8 health. Oh my god, he's really nasty. He gives no money. What a chump. Alright, well, let's make this fight happen, right? So we're going to look at some special abilities real quick so we know what we're fighting. We've got Pierce 1. So Pierce, this is monster attacks deal piercing damage. They ignore armor. So he's going to ignore 1 of Carl's breastplate's armor if he hits. And then that's what he's got. Pierce and Pursue. So Pursue, you cannot escape from a fight with this target by this monster unless the monster is dazed or hexed. Well, we know we can use the hunting net to get rid of him. But we're not going to worry about that because we're going to kill him. The Frothing Zealot has Berserk. Berserk. The monster gains +2 attack on its first round in a fight unless it is dazed. Its attack returns to normal after its first round. So this first round, he's actually going to be attack 6. And we've got Onslaught. And Onslaught says the monster gains +1 attack while targeting an adventurer who's in a guard stance. If a number N is indicated, the monster has attack +N attack. We do not have that, so that's it. And then, of course, we know what Summon does. But unfortunately, he's not good. If the monster is still alive at the end of its first combat round, draw a monster from his deck and add the monster to the fight. If icons are listed, draw a card or cards from the indicated decks. Pink indicates a law deck, a monster that is entered the fight. So, yeah, he's not going to actually draw because he doesn't have the symbol there. So I think that's how that works. I'm going to double check that, but I'm pretty darn sure that's how it works. Yeah, at the end of its turn, draw a monster from its deck and add the monster to the fight. With the icons are listed, draw a card from the indicated decks. So, okay, well, we don't have anything from that indicated card. It's just going to be a non-event, I think. So anyway, we're going to do our fight. So let's put the danger deck back and start our battle. First off, we are going to deal with, so remember, we are going to first, let's see, establish our targets. We've done that. We've done our arrival abilities. There weren't any. Then adventurers take turns in perception order, which means that our Alley Cat Sue is going to go first against the Imperial Huntsman. She's going to use her claws, and I think she might actually take a lycanthropy thing now. Let's see. Quick action, we can do this. Place a wound on the counter on this card or remove a wound from it. If there are counters on this card, you take 1 wound at the end of your turn. At the end of your turn each round, you cannot use one-handed, two-handed. So, but it would give me +1 on each. Do I do that? I don't know. I don't think. Okay, it's not worth it. We're not going to do it. But we are going to have to fight this guy all out. We have an agility of 8, so we're doing okay. The safety collar, you cannot become defeated by your own mastery skill. Okay, I'm not worried about that. That basically protects us from our own lycanthropy. Do I want to use the net? I don't think so. Let's just do a fight. Okay, Alley Cat Sue, we're going to be using our claws. Their attack is agility. So basically both of our things are going to be based on agility. What stance do I want to take against him? Do I want to take a defensive stance? I don't want to take damage from this guy. He's really strong. He's got an attack of 5. Sue, we haven't been hit. Do I want to go on the assault? If I want to get... Oh, I can ignore his armor if I do that, right? Yeah. I think we're going into assault mode since we only have 1 enemy anyway. Attack with this mastery, ignore 1 point of armor. Let's do as much damage and attack as we can. Okay, let's do that. So, Alley Cat Sue goes into an assault stance and attacks the Imperial Huntsman. Let's see what we can do here. Alright, well, the good news is she hit and succeeded on everything. The bad news is, well, it's not bad news, actually. So we did a 5 there. Now, what happens when you do a 5 when you're actually in a assault stance on defense? Reduce the damage from each monster targeting you by your highest single die. That's 3. Yuck. So she's going to take some damage. because he's going to do 5. We really can't prevent that. We did not go into a defensive mode. So let's start there. So Alley Katsu has a defense. She rolled a 3. That's her highest die. She's got an attack value 5, so that means we're going to go up 1, 2. Now remember, we got 2 wounds on us now. And oh, I forgot to put her heart symbol on here at 14. Okay. Anyway, that's the maximum damage we can take at the moment. So that wasn't too bad. We survived that fight, but now let's go resolve the other half of that. Okay, now we're going to resolve the other half of that. We're not going to quite kill it, but we do almost kill it. So we did a 3, we got a 4 to hit. We successfully hit, but we're going to use our power die. Remember, we used an assault attack. And because we used our claws, we get to, because of that mastery, we get to avoid 1 point of armor. So we actually did 5 points of damage to the Zealot, which means that the Zealot has 1 point of damage left to be able to take. So we're going to put that on a sheet and we're going to put it there. That was actually really good, because next up is going to be our surgeon, Oz, and she's obviously going to attack. I think she's just going to attack the Imperial Huntsman and get rid of it. Or, I don't know, we might want to go after this frothing Zealot. I think, you know, Alley Katsu can take another round of fighting the Huntsman. He doesn't do anything particularly bad to us at this point. We're not going to try and escape. I think we're okay. So I think that we're going to take Oz's surgical saw. She goes, "Darling, I can't let you get hurt. I'm coming to your defense right now." And she's going to go after, let me see, she could flat out kill either one of them, I think. Neither of them have any armor. Well, wait, this guy's got a health of 8. I think we're going to go after the frothing Zealot, because she can't be hit back. If she can do a ton of damage to him, maybe maybe our good guy, Carl, can take him out in a guard stance. So she is going to be in assault stance. Boosh. And it says, as a quick action, attacks, okay, 1, but it's filth, so it doesn't really matter. Neither of them have any armor. We don't have to put this in there. We just have to roll this. Come on, Oz, get it. Well, we did hit. Wasn't very good. So let me see. She has a, let me see, that is an attack agility. So her agility is 8, so she rolled a 6. She hit, but her highest die is a 3, unfortunately. So we're going to do 3 points of damage, leaving the frothing Zealot with 5. Okay, so now why does he have 5? Because it's got 8 minus 3. So simple math, right? That's all that happens there. So good job, but we didn't kill anything yet. That's not good. Now, I think I know that he does better and gets to add an additional power die when he is in. You know, I should think about this quick action too, because I get some luck. If you are not being targeted this round, well, I am, so I can't do that. Okay. I think he's going to be targeted a lot. I don't think there's much option there, but we can use this. I think we're going to go in guard position, because I don't want him to get beaten down badly. Now, that does mean that for this round, the frothing Zealot is actually at a 4, 5, 6, 7 attack. But, you know, so we'll take some damage, but we might be able to avoid all of the Watchman's damage. We only got a agility of 6. However, if I mess up badly, I could end up taking 10 damage. We don't want to do that. So let's definitely. Now I got 2 armor. Nobody stops the armor, so we're okay there. I do think we're going into a guard position. Remember that if the difference between that and on your defense roll says reduce the damage from each monster targeting you by your highest die. So we could avoid a lot of the damage instead of reducing the damage from Yeah, I think that's what we're going to do. So we're going to go in defense. We're going to be on guard. Now I'm still debating that, but let's see what we can do here. Well, the good news is we actually just barely succeeded, because remember, he's got a -1 to his agility, so it's a 7, a 6, so he did succeed. His highest die is a 5, so he's going to take a little bit of damage. Now, he could replace with 3, obviously that doesn't do any good, but he also hit with a 7. So he's going to do, let me see, he's going to do 4 points of damage to one of them. We could, let me see, do we kill the Zealot, or do we kill the Watchman flat out? I think let's go, actually I said I was going to attack the Zealot, didn't I? Yeah, so we're going to have to do that. Okay. Anyway, let's take a look at the damage. So, we rolled a 5 as our highest die. Now, normally he'd only be a 4, but remember this is his first attack round, so he's +2 because of the Berserk ability, and +1 because of the Onslaught. So, he's going to take 2 points of damage. So he goes up to 2. Not terrible. And then, of course, he took no damage from the Watchman, because he blocked all of it. that is good. So he took a couple points of damage. He's okay, but he did flat out kill the Watchman. Boom, it is dead. So right now we're doing pretty good. We're going to win these fights. Now the fights get worse, guys. I'm telling you that right now. This is simple, and you see that we are taking damage. We are taking damage. All right, back around to our next round of actions. So we go back to the top, which is our surgeon. She doesn't have anybody to fight, so she's going into assault stance, and I believe she's just going to try and kill the Imperial huntsman. Again, she doesn't need any of that. She's just going to flat out attack it. She's using her surgery saw, which is going to be in agility. She's going to be in assault mode, so it doesn't really help though. So we need an 8 or less. Let's see, a 5, 7, and we did 5 points of damage. So that means that we did 5. It only had 1 left. She killed the Imperial Zealot. That is great. All right. Thank you, Doctor. Now we're going to Alley Cat Sue. Now Alley Cat Sue is going to be in assault stance as well. She's going to take her claws, and she is going to wallop on the Frothing Zealot. Now the Frothing Zealot doesn't have the extra attack bonus this round, but he's still got 5 health. So we would ignore armor, but the Zealot doesn't have any. Let's see. She's going to be, her claws are an agility, so she got an 8, a 6. Okay, we're going to do 4 more to the Zealot, leaving him with 1 hit point, because we're going to take this and this away. We did 4 more points of damage. We got 1 point left. Well, it's still alive as Carl gets to go. Carl says the heck with it, going into full-on assault mode on this guy now. He might take a little bit of damage. Doubt it. Got 2 armor. Oh, you know, I forgot his armor. He didn't take that damage, did he? Yeah, his armor would have blocked that. Would have blocked one of them. Because no, it was the holy guy that had Pierce, right? This guy. No, not the Watchman. He had piercing. Yeah, so he wasn't fighting Carl. So Carl took no damage actually from that. We're killing it. All right, and then he's going to go in assault mode and just go off on this Frothing Zealot. Now, this could be getting a little cocky here. We'll see. Could take some damage, but I think we're okay. We only need to do 1 point of damage. Ouch! He took damage because he missed this completely, but he did. His assault worked. His power die was only 1, but he got 5. So he's going to kill the Frothing Zealot. But remember, these are simultaneous. So he completely failed in an attack roll. You miss no effect. So he takes all the damage minus 2. So he now takes 2 points of damage. Again, so he took 4 points. Just flat out took 4 points. But because of his armor, he takes 2. So he goes down to 2 points. And we kill the Zealot. And that is going to be the end of the fight. So let's go back to our encounter, because that made a difference there. It says, you must fight monsters this turn regardless of the value. We did that. Danger level of the card, undead, blah, blah, blah. Okay. If you succeed, remove clue 5 and 1 plague from your space. I'm going to look what the definition of space is, because if I could take that plague off the surgeon, that would be awesome. But I don't think I can. Wishful thinking. But we do get to get some experience. So our unlicensed surgeon, she goes, oh, if I've killed this huntsman, look at that, I get a 2 and a 2. Quite nice. So she's going to get 2 experience. That actually puts her up to 2. Puts her gold up to 4 total. She's not doing that well there. And we get to roll a die. And if she rolls a 2 or less, remember it's the experience value of the things you killed, she gets a loot. She did not. So he goes into the discard. We have discarded the Imperial Huntsman. And I think we're going to shuffle them all back in. But, you know, that's the way it goes. Okay. And then now we got this going on here for Carl. Carl is going to get 2 more experience. That's going to put him up to 6, 7. And then he gets only 1 gold, unfortunately, from that group. That puts him up at a 9. He's doing pretty good there. And then we get to roll for him as well. He has to roll a 2 or less. Nope, we're rolling lots of 6s now. We weren't when we were trying to fight. Okay, that is the end of that. We did that fight. We completed our quest, our mission. That is going to be the end of the round. Good job, team. We totally smoked them. That was fantastic. So with that information in mind, we're going to end it there, guys. We have successfully taken out 2 of the clues that we need to take down. We got a couple more left to go. Yeah, that's pretty good. And that means that I don't think there's anything else left that we have to do this round. We'll clean up. Everything's good. Everybody's healthy. We got a little bit of damage on Alley Cat Sue and a little bit of damage on Carl. Otherwise, everybody's good. we can manage that damage. We don't even have to rest right now to deal with that. I think we're going to keep moving. We got to get down to the graveyard before too many more bad things happen. See what we can find there, because the graveyard is the next location in our line. We're heading down there. Maybe if we're being really cocky and lucky, we can take on the Plague Knight who is there. So we can kill him, and then we got to rush up and kill the other one. I mean, I definitely don't want to split up to take on those guys. Those guys are nasty, nasty. But that was interesting, guys. That was really fun. I'm glad. I hope you enjoyed it. We're doing pretty darn good, and I'm truly enjoying this scenario. It's a lot of fun. The plague hasn't done too much yet. In fact, I'm just going to brush up on that and make sure I'm not missing anything, because we might be needing to put out some plague counters. You know, I don't remember when we place those out. When your plague counter is placed in your space. Okay, I got to look at that just to make sure. While already. Okay, yeah, I'm going to look at that. I may owe the board a plague counter or two. If you do know that, let me know. But we'll see if that's true. I don't know if it is true. Regardless of that, in fact, hold on just a moment. I'm going to look it up before I quit. Just make sure. Okay, just for the sake of discussion, we actually wouldn't put a plague token down. It says spreading sickness. If the first party, which we only have one, draws a danger card corresponding to a space with a clue in it, which means if we drew the graveyard or the fields, we would actually then put a plague token down, but we did not. This is when you trade in Brutalberg or Holy Order, you may spend 5. Okay, we didn't do that either. We could have removed, I could have removed, no, I didn't have enough money. Well, I did actually. I could have removed, instead of getting the Mystic Geode, I could have taken the plague token off of our Scholar, but that's okay. We can take care of it later. So this is the card that we drew. We didn't draw that. We're okay there. So we do have to keep track of it, and as we remove the clue tokens, we end up in a better place. So that is pretty darn good for us, I think, in the end. Anyway, that's now there's going to be cards and stuff that put out Plague 2. We just haven't encountered them yet. So we'll see how that goes. Anyway, that's where we're at right now. So we haven't been putting out any new Plague tokens. I would thought they would come out faster. I'm going to double check everything just to make sure. I know that we will have some bad things happen if those guys reach their space. And I'm also going to check to see, there's probably some of the clues that we haven't uncovered are probably going to do that. For example, this one would have, if we'd failed to fight, we would have put a plague token out. So maybe that's it. I just feel like it should be more threatening right now, and it just doesn't feel that threatening yet, but perhaps it will as it ratchets up. Anyway, guys, again, correct me if you find something, let me know, but I think we're doing okay, and I'm certainly enjoying this. I hope you are too. This is a great game, and I really enjoy our characters and the creative juices that flow through Dungeon Degenerates. Goblinko did a great job with this, and while some people may not like the art, I actually do. It really fits the twisted world that these characters live in. It's really neat, and I love it. So guys, thanks. Talk to you soon. Hope to see you in the next episode, and I'll have a great evening. I know I will, and take care. Bye-bye.